Hello everyone, welcome back to FPL Winnie Show. It's one of our last shows because season is coming to an end. Today I'm joined by Gianni Butice as always, and it's me, Ali FPL Guns. How you been, Gianni?
Yeah, not too bad, mate. As you say, there's only a couple of Sundays left. I mean, we'll be previewing 37 now, and then we'll be previewing 38. So yeah, it's the penultimate week for us. Um, and it is like next weekend is the penultimate weekend of the season, which seems crazy. Like it has flown by. I am ready for a break. I am excited for the break. I'm excited for the double in 37, and then 38 is always a fun game week. 10 games kicking off at the same time, crazy swings on the final day. But yeah, nice to refresh. I'm looking at the current game going, this needs a summer break. It needs new prices, for example. Like at the moment, FPL has become a little bit too predictable and easy and templatey because there's been so many good performers this season at low price points that we can have all the good players in our team. And actually, I like FPL, and let us know in the chat if you agree. I like FPL when you can't get all the good players in your team and you've got big decisions to make. So next season, that will probably be the case because Arsenal defenders won't be 5 million. Cole Palmer won't be 5 million. Anthony Gordon won't be 5 million. Like these guys will be way more expensive. And with that, the City players will be more. It just makes the game a little bit more difficult, which I think is fun.
Yeah, you could say that template wins this season because a lot of steady and consistent performance like Saka, Haaland has been in and out, but still,
Yeah.
like he started delivering. And tell me about yesterday. What a performance! It's unlucky for the differential captainers because I was one of them. I picked with, but we'll talk about our teams. It's just this season overall has been really for me in inconsistent in the way that my differentials never worked. So
Mm.
I always try to go against the obvious picks, and this season has been really different. And it's been over for me for a while now, so I'm looking forward to the end of it. But I'm excited that the next season will be interesting.
Oh, it'd be great when that game is dropped in July. Like the first month of the season is the most fun month of the year. Really planning a game week one team. We big up game week one so much. And actually, it doesn't matter because by game week four, you've all wild carded and you just pick the best players that you've seen in the first couple of weeks. But I love preseason. But yeah, Haaland yesterday, mate. I mean, it's tough. It's really tough for those that went against. Who did you captain?
Odegaard,
Yeah, okay, fine. So you guys played, which he had a good game. Arsenal scored goals. He was so close to scoring at the near post. It did feel like one of those weeks. If you were going against Haaland, it was a very brave call because and Ali, I know you know this. Haaland at home against middling opposition is usually recipe for success. But when you're chasing, you're chasing. And if it doesn't matter if you finish 600k or a million, then you may as well just go loose with captaincy for the final few weeks. So I completely get that. But yeah, Haaland, 4 goals, man. Like, it's going to be hard now to bet against him in 37 and 38. If Haaland blanks against Wolves, you'd go into 37 and loads would be confident on captaining a Son, who has Burnley at home as one of his 2 fixtures, captaining Palmer, who has 2 good fixtures. I don't know now if many are going to be confident on a Son or a Palmer shout. I mean, let's see how Son and Palmer get on Sunday. But yeah, Haaland with 4, it's going to be hard to ignore him now for his double in 37. I mean, what do you make of that double in 37 for Haaland? It's 2 away games. Going to Craven Cottage is never easy. Not many teams go and score big there at all. But then Spurs is a good fixture on paper for Haaland. So but both away from home. Do you think you'll captain Haaland?
I don't even have him. That's the funny
Oh,
part.
so no, you won't. There's no way you're going to bring him in just for 2 weeks.
No,
Gone
no.
this far without him. The Ali I know is not bringing him in.
I don't think I have. It's not possible. I never considered having him because there's no point at my rank having. I tried to make as much to have as many differentials in my team as I could, but whatever. My season is over, so it doesn't really matter how much I score on my bench boost. But I think in terms of the difficulty of double, I don't think it's easy for Man City.
No, it's not.
They're on fire right now, but Fulham, I've been praising them the whole season because I've seen them live, and that team can turn up. This is basically the Arsenal's outside chance of winning the league, because I don't see Spurs putting a good fight against City because they're just too good for them. And but Fulham can be tough to break down sometimes. They could be, especially away. Arsenal lost away. They drew at home and lost away to Fulham, and a lot of people lost points there. A lot of good teams lost points there. So anything could happen, but I don't see those two fixtures and in combined a double as an easy double. Spurs have a better double because of Burnley at home in the first fixture. So I could definitely see people going against the flow and going for Son, maybe Richarlison if he plays. So Palmer is always a good option. He's been a little bit of a troll for some managers, because once you captain him, sometimes he blanks. When you don't think of captaining him, he ends up scoring 3. So it's a tough choice. At the end of the day, it's just back your team. If your rank doesn't really matter, have fun with it. That's what I'm trying to do. I brought in Trent Alexander-Arnold, and this is just for the fun of it. And everybody, wrote off Liverpool assets like they won't be playing games, and I think they would love to finish on a high, to say a proper goodbye to their, one of the best managers in their recent history. Not only recent history, but they brought him great success. They've turned around a decade of really poor form for Liverpool. So I think the ending of the season will be really interesting for Liverpool. I don't think they have chances to win it, but it's long gone. They need both Arsenal and City to slip up, but I think they will finish on a high.
Yeah, I'm with you. Like, Liverpool can't win the title, but they can go and score big in FPL still. Like, I look at GameWeek 38, and I do wonder if there'll be loads that just see that written on paper and go, it's Liverpool at home, it's Klopp's final game. Do you get it? Maybe Salah's last game, we don't know, but Wolves definitely looked yesterday like they're down tools. Like, this Wolves team is usually pretty hard and resilient to beat, but Man City schooled them. And Liverpool on the final day, game week 38, Wolves go to Anfield. And I do wonder, the Salah punt, maybe a Jota or a Darwin punt if you realise they were starting, or we'll probably get leaks because Liverpool are one of the leaky clubs. Having Trent in 38 is strong. Could be some big scores there. And before that, it's worth noting Liverpool, they do, in 37, they go to Aston Villa. So I don't think anyone's going to be buying Liverpool players in 37. Single game week against Aston Villa. But 38, en masse, Arsenal and Liverpool players will be popular. Arsenal on the final day, again, title could be in the balance. They'll have to win regardless. But it's Everton at home. Again, season's pretty much done for Everton. Nothing to play for. I like the likes of Havertz and Darwin and Salah for the final day. Having 2 free transfers for 38 could be really powerful. But what about 37, Ali? Well, should we see how we're doing this game? So we've got your team on screen. I guess we don't need to talk too much about the players playing today because many will be listening this after Sunday. But let's just talk about Newcastle, because you've got Gordon and Isak in place and they are delivering on all fronts.
Absolutely. I've said it in previous streams that Newcastle, they've been scoring a lot, and I think they have. That's one of those teams that if they score, who's involved in the goals, in the assist, or so it's usually Gordon and Isak, maybe rarely some of the midfielders, but sometimes Bruno Guimaraes, maybe Longstaff, they're involved as well. But mostly it's always Gordon and Isak. Mostly, even with when Trippier is fit, he will be again, amongst the assisters of the game, because that's how they set up, that's how they play tactically, and this is all we need when playing FPL. We need players that are, always involved in assists or goals. So Gordon, I've known people that have had him for a while, and they've really enjoyed having him because they've he's been so consistent this year, and you know the fact that he's been called up in England, I think it's is proven as well. You know, it's not just out of nothing. He's had an amazing season. But Isak, his price tag is rising, and I think next year in FPL as well, he will be
Yeah.
around 9 or 10 million. If I think 9.5 or something, it will be interesting to have him again. So Newcastle have been really on form, and there were questions about their away form, but they've proven that it's just speculations, and they're equally good at home in in a way. So
When they're scoring goals, they're scoring goals. Like, yes, the sample size was there to suggest they're way better at home. But they also, this season, went and beat Sheffield United 8-0 on the road. So when they play the newly promoted teams away from home, they can still put up big scorelines, and they did again yesterday. So, yeah, it goes to show when you've got sample sizes that aren't massive and you've got narratives that are built, you can still buck the trend. This is the Premier League, and it's unpredictable.
it's a tougher position. I mean, Newcastle have got everything in their locker in terms of physicality. They have players who press their intensity of the game. It's really hard to put a fight against them, and that's the logical part of why newly promoted teams struggle with them, because they're overall well balanced team and they have quality in their squad. So having scoring like 3 or 4 or 5 goals a game, it's not an easy job in the Premier League.
Yeah, I'm with you 100% there. Newcastle did have a clean sheet wipeout at the end, Ali.
Yeah.
You didn't have a Newcastle defender, so that worked out quite nicely for you because you must have known everyone had a Newcastle defender.
I had Share. I had to sell him.
Yeah.
Yeah, I went. I brought in Alexander Arnold. So it's part of the reason why I have a few single game week players for the 37, like Odegaard, Gabriel, and Trent. It's just I like game week 38. I always keep. Sometimes last season no, but a few seasons ago I've always I think I bench boosted in one of the seasons in game week 38. I've used free hits, so I like using free hits in game week 38. It's always fun. I like this game week, and last year's game week 38 was really really special for me, and I think I'll have a really strong team by game week 38. But in 37, I don't really count on it that much because the doubles are tricky, and my season is gone, so there's no point of chasing it. So what's the my current overall rank is 1,363,000. So there's nothing to save there. Ultimately, it doesn't really matter.
It's fine. You won FPL last year. You will never beat that, but forever be able to hold the fact that you are a winner of FPL. And the year before that, the most incredible part of this story for me is you finished 215th the year before, 215 and then 1. That is obscene. You are one of the FPL managers in the world, 100%. Let's have a look at my team without those glorious highs of Ali's in years gone by. Good finishes, but not number 1 and 215. My target this year was top 10k, and at one point I think I was at 45k around game week 20, I don't know, 22, 23. I've still not reached 45k since. It's ridiculous. 10 game weeks on, or whenever I was at 45k, I'm not someone that can repeat my ranks and stuff. Like, I don't study it. But around 10, 15 game weeks ago, I was at 45k. I'm still not at 45k. How has it gone so wrong since then? Like, I was having a massively good season. 45k at game week 24 or whatever it was. You're like, yeah, I can definitely get top 10k. Well, now top 10k feels like a distant dream because I'm at 56k. It's mid game week, so yeah, I don't like to read too much into ranks. But let's say I finished the game week on 50k. Like, my team is so template-y in attack that you can't make the gains, especially in a game where everyone's captaining Haaland. And annoyingly, yesterday, despite captaining Haaland, didn't really make a difference massively to my rank that he went and scored 4. And it will be the same case in 37 and 38. I really planned to bet against Haaland in 37 and 38. I'm now not sure if I'm going to do that. Let's see. Son is still an option for 37 captaincy. So is Palmer. The Ederson clean sheet wipeout was annoying. We've spoken about how good Man City were in attack. We've been here before, Ali. You must remember last season well. I don't think you owned Edison, but you must have had a lot in and around the top sort of 25. And I know you were monitoring every team when you were top of the league going into the last few weeks of the season, where Edison and Man City are comfortable in a game. They're clearly going to win the game. They're 3-0 up, 70, 80 minutes gone, and they concede a sloppy goal. And we saw it a load last year at the end of the season. They'll win 3-1, 4-1, 5-1, whatever. But they concede these silly goals. And again, yesterday, clean sheet wipeout. We've been here before with Man City and Edison at the end of a season. Really frustrating. But other than that, can't complain.
On that front, I think there's a lack of good goalkeepers this year. We don't have the so maybe Raya is just ahead of 3 games to go. He's been awarded with a Golden Glove with the most clean sheets in the league, and the closest one I think was Pickford, who couldn't even catch him with 2 or 3 games. So he conceded, and automatically Raya has been awarded the Golden Glove. And there are not a lot of good goalkeepers this season, and the fact that I picked Ederson, I think it's just City. I didn't want to go for their defenders because sometimes they're rotating. Most of them are fully fit at the moment. Maybe Guardiola was in my mind. I almost got him, but for some reason I didn't go for him in the end. But this is if you don't pick him, you probably want to go for a double game week player who has a double game week in 37.
Yeah.
And who are these? Brighton keepers? No. Petrovic maybe. Why not? Vicario concedes. He's a good goalkeeper, great goalkeeper. I think Spurs they've done an amazing job getting him, and he's a good goalkeeper. But FPL wise, Spurs defense has been really, really poor this season. Again, I'm also doubled up on Spurs defense because of the Burnley game. So I have Van de Ven and Pedro Porro. So basically, it's always tough to pick. But if you go for one of the best goalkeepers, it's Raya. He doesn't have a double game week. Plus, you might want to double up on their attack, or having Gabriel or Saliba alone is enough. It's a tough. I always say that if there are not many good goalkeeper options, just pick one, because it doesn't really matter. You can't really predict clean sheets. You can pick a good defense, but okay, Arsenal, City's been conceding. Arsenal's been keeping a lot of clean sheets, especially after the New Year's. But again, they have better options in the back line. They have better options up front. You have to pick your own players, and he did a great job in game of 34. By the way, he's scored 16 points, Raya, I think.
Yeah, no, he's been a really good pick, and he's obviously started so cheap. Next year he'll be way more expensive. Again, yesterday Arsenal somehow kept a clean sheet. Like, how that wasn't a penalty, or just how the goal was disallowed. VAR somehow finding a way of ruling out and then not awarding the pen. But yeah, fair play to those that have got double Arsenal defense. It continues to be like massive. Next week, the only guy I don't have doubling is Gabriel. Do I sell Gabriel for a doubler? I don't think so. He plays United away.
He scored a banger.
But... Oh, what a goal that was. And Havertz was offside when he...
He had to ruin that moment, because it was an amazing goal, especially for a defender.
I like the fact that as the Rice goal goes in at the very end, I think Saliba was in the bonus and then got bumped out of it because Rice then went up into bonus, which was nice. But yeah, I mean, Ali, what do you think of selling Gabriel? I mean, I don't think it's worth it. I think I just take a single game weeker there. I've got a free transfer. My plans, and this is, dubbed a team selection video. This isn't really a stream where we do team selection. It's just early thoughts. We should probably ask that we change the name. If you want to watch the team selection video of Gianni Battici, that's only available on my channel. Just throwing it out there. And that's always midweek, Thursday usually. I guess my thoughts, Ali, in terms of transfers. Have I got 2 frees? I think I've got 2 frees. So I've got to use one. I mean, I don't know. I don't know where I'm at. It could be Gabriel to a dunk. But my plan originally was De Bruyne. I'm not so sure now. I'm not so sure. I may just sit with Foden. No points for De Bruyne yesterday. Um, I don't know. I'm not wed to keeping Bruno for the double. As much as good as I think Bruno is, it's not a great looking double. It's Arsenal at home, Newcastle at home. I think United could lose both those games. And I don't necessarily feel the need to have Bruno in game week 38. Like Man United last day of the season, I don't expect to have Bruno in my team. Like they go to Brighton, I'd much rather a Liverpool or an Arsenal midfielder for 38. So I could use that spot just to go for a 1 week punt um, and sell Bruno to a double game week midfielder. The problem is the double game week teams, I've already got 3 Spurs. I've already got 3 Chelsea. I've already got 3 Newcastle. So really, my best option for Bruno, I think, I don't really want to go to a Brighton mid, could be Richarlison. And to do that, I would have to sell a Pedro Porro or Vicario. Am I okay selling Vicario, Pedro Porro? Absolutely, I am. And I've got the 2 free transfers. So Bruno could become Richarlison. And with that, I would just have to swap a Vicario or a Pedro Porro out, which again, I'm okay with. Probably, I don't know. I could go Vicario to Anana and just go for some save points. What do you
I,
think, Ali?
I think you might want to change your mind when Bruno scores a brace today or tomorrow against Crystal Palace. So Bruno is explosive. He's shown that even in the games that if you check his recent points, it's incredible. He's blanked last game week, but he was on bonus points because he created 9 chances. Right
Yeah.
now, if there was a patch of games where Garnacho was really good, but I think if you want to go for a Manchester United player, it's Bruno Fernandes. That's for sure because I had a choice to get rid of him or Son, so I picked Son to get rid instead to bring in KDB. And currently, I'm with no Son. I think Spurs are not in good form right now. And Son, I don't think everything works for him. So
Yeah.
they've been really they've started well. There was the team spirit with Ange Postecoglou was really nice in the first half of the season, but right now it's tough for them, and I think their season is over because they don't have many much chances to get in top four either.
Yeah. Yeah, let's see how United get on Monday night. Let's see how Richarlison gets on against well, today. We're recording this on Sunday morning. I look forward to that Liverpool Spurs game. That's gonna be really fun. I have benched Son, which is a little bit scary, but I think you got to make big benching decisions this week. And many have benched Bruno, many have benched Son, some benched Gordon. So yeah, it is what it is. Ali, we'll be back next Sunday for our last show of the season. That
Season.
sounds crazy. Any final thoughts from you?
It's been this is my first appearance. This show is my first appearance on Fantasy Football Scout, and as well
Yeah.
podding with you was an amazing experience for me. I'm not a content creator. I'm just here in and out with the great FPL community, and I very much enjoyed interacting with great people, great managers, and it's always fun to talk FPL. And I've very much enjoyed working with you as well, Gianni, because I've enjoyed our Sunday shows. I don't know if I'll be there next season, but I'm very thankful for the Fantasy Football Scout platform to giving me this opportunity to be a part of the show. And basically, this is despite having a bad season, I've still enjoyed it. I've still had a lot of fun,
Good.
and that's the main point of FPL. So it's even if you make sure you have fun, make sure you enjoy watching football, and that's it.
If you're not having fun, you shouldn't be playing the game. And this is a game, and games have to be fun. And sometimes I have to tell myself that because there's weekends, and Gucci in the chat was like, "Yeah, my day was rubbish yesterday because bad FPL result." But we have to remember games have to be fun. So if you're not getting enjoyment out of FPL, maybe consider a break. But I know the vast majority will just have those swingy weekends where you have a bad weekend, but then you have 3 good ones. And I know that's where we'll all be at pre-season, which is the most fun part of the season. So yeah, I'm looking forward to being back. And Ali, I hope we're back next season doing this same Sunday morning show because I've really enjoyed it as well. And that you've been an absolute breath of fresh air and a nice perspective from the normal content creator, you do play the game differently, and therefore your content for me is fascinating to listen to and get an insight into, because you do buck the trend, and that is how you go and win FPL. It's also how you can go and have a season at a 1 million rank, but it's how you can win FPL, which is absolutely what I'm here for. Guys, if you've enjoyed today's show, we have one request. No, sorry, three. Firstly, please like and subscribe to Fantasy Football Scout, but like this video. So one, like. Number two, go follow Ali on Twitter at FPL Guns. And number three, go follow me on YouTube or subscribe at Gianni Batici. Guys, we'll be back next Sunday. Good luck for the rest of this game week. I hope if you've benched a Son or a Bruno, it doesn't sting you too hard. I hope we get goals in all the games, and we will see you for the penultimate week of the season next Sunday. Bye-bye.
Cheers.